Welcome to day 352 of the Get Your Goals Annual Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's set next year's communication goals. We've been setting goals in each of the 9 different areas and aspects of our life over the last 7 days. Today's day 8, tomorrow's day 9. We're going to finish up the 9th area of, and it'll be confidence tomorrow. Setting goals for next year. We've used this same framework to discuss and learn and study and deep dive into all the different areas and aspects of our life, setting goals, achieving goals, and making sure that we create the life that we want going forward. So today, let's set using our 8-step process that we came up with a week ago, Sunday, not yesterday, but a week ago. And we're going to use that same process. So step 1 is to identify the area of goals that we want to set. And today it's communication. We're going to work on our communication goals. Second step is to examine and recall our core values, our thoughts, and our beliefs with respect to communication. What's most important to you when it comes to communication? What's most important to you in your life overall, and how does communication impact that? Step 3, we're doing a SWOT analysis. What are your communication strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? And those change over time, right? As we become better, as we grow and develop as human beings, our communication generally gets better. It's not a steadfast rule, but it usually does. The more we know ourselves, the more confident we are. The more confident we are, the more eloquent we are when it comes to communication. And some of us have been communicated for a really long time, and we still trip over our own tongues. And that's just part of who we are as well. After that, we are going to think about, what is my biggest communication challenge right now? What is my biggest challenge when it comes to communication? And mine is kind of a no-brainer. It is definitely my physical vision. Well, that kind of falls under physical, but it also negatively impacts my ability to communicate, right? It's hard and it's a challenge. I figure it out because I use different techniques and strategies and tools and guidelines. There's a really fun app now called Be My Eyes, where for people that are blind, you can just click on it and somebody on the other line, there's I think a couple million volunteers now. People will actually guide you through what you're trying to do. So if I'm trying to bake something or make a recipe or do something around the house and I can't see what I'm doing, it becomes like a two-way walkie-talkie but vision system where they can actually walk you through and help you by being the eyes for you. It's super duper cool. I will admit I looked at it and stuff. I have not actually used it yet, but I love the idea of it. So we have to find things that work for us. So what's your biggest challenge when it comes to communication? Following that and kind of getting a picture of where we've been and thinking about where we want to go, we are going to brainstorm. I say let's use our 10, 3, and 1 tool because it's the quickest and easiest one. Brainstorm at least 10 different goals or things with respect to communication that you want to set a goal for next year. What do you want to accomplish next year? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to become a better speaker? Do you want to learn and tell a better story? Do you want to create a different identity and story for yourself? That's all communication, right? Do you want to change the way you see yourself and the world sees you? That could be something that falls under communication. So after we brainstorm that list, what are we going to do? Step 6, we're going to analyze, rate, prioritize that brainstormed list. Now, some things that go on my brainstormed list automatically are so audacious and so ridiculous, they just get chunked off, right? Or they go into the lifelong legacy, sort of like fantasy and hope category, but it doesn't mean I don't keep them in my mind because they are the absolute ideal what I want in this area or aspect of my life. So then we combine them. Then we're going to pick our top 3, right? We need to narrow it down to 3 goals for next year in this area, as well as the other areas. And what we're going to do in a couple of days is we're going to look at all 27 of the goals that we came up with and say, okay, how can I use this process now to combine and prioritize and make sure that I set them in a priority order that will work for me next year, or what can I combine and put together so that I don't have 27 goals, maybe I only have 5 that I'm really, really working on. And then there's little ancillary things that feed into them so I can get the things that I want in my life in each of the different areas. But I have to know what's important to me right now. For example, this past year, my physical well-being and health was very important to me. I had to have heart surgery again. I guess it wasn't heart surgery. It was ICD replacement box surgery. And it actually went much more easily and smoothly than I thought it was going to go, even though it happened at probably the worst possible time for me this year. Everything went way better than I could have anticipated and expected. And maybe it's because there was so much else going on in my life. I didn't have time to dwell or fret or worry about it. And it happened so fast that I didn't have time to think about it. So it was like, okay, you're having surgery this week, let's go. And that's kind of how it was. And so I didn't have any time to think about it. I just had to fit it into my schedule and make sure that it happened. It was a lot easier this time too than when I had my sudden cardiac arrest. Okay, then we're going to share one goal, one communication goal in the comments below. And I haven't picked mine yet. I'm going to need to go through this process just like you do. And I am setting my goals for next year, so it takes me a little time. Otherwise, I'd probably share mine. I was thinking about writing a book, and maybe that'll be one of next year's goals. And that's a communication tool, right? But not sure if that's going to make the top 3 or not. We'll see. All right. Have an awesome day. If I can help you anyway, ask. Of course, there's going to be a write-up in Guide 17 of the Get Up and Go Challenge private Facebook group. If you haven't joined that yet, I highly recommend it because it's free. You just have to answer the 3 questions. And there is a ton of information there. There are all the challenges from 2020. Every other month, I did a 30-plus day Get Up and Go challenge for 2020. And then I kept doing it in 2021 because I still needed some oomph and some getting up and going. And then in last year, I did the BU 365-day challenge, and all the videos are in Guide 15 for that. And then this year, we've got Guide 16 and Guide 17. Guide 16 is the videos. Guide 17 is the ChatGPT write-up starting February 1st on for each of the days. So in Guide 17, day 352, you'll find today's. Of course, I haven't put it there yet, but I will put it there after I'm done making my morning content. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. And of course, be with you tomorrow. We're going to talk about confidence and set our goals for confidence next year tomorrow. All right. Have a great day. I'll be with you tomorrow.